Joining me today, I have actor Luke David Blumm joining me. He is on a brand new movie, Lost on a Mountain in Maine. Luke, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
So, tell us a little bit about this new film, Lost on a Mountain in Maine. What is it about?
So it's about the story of Don Fendler, who was a kid who was lost on a mountain in Maine. Um, Really hard to decipher what it's about from the title, but you can get it. Um, it's a it's a really good story. It's about him getting lost, obviously, but I think like deeper down, it's a lot about the relationship between Don and his father. The movie was takes place in like the 1930s, so people like fathers and sons did not really have the closest of relationships back then. And a lot of the movie is about their relationship being fixed and overcoming those obstacles of the time period, which is really good. It's a really good message that the story portrays.
Absolutely. I know you've been in many other movies and TV shows, a few thrillers. What was it like playing the lead role in something like this, a powerful true story?
Yeah, it is very powerful. I've only seen the movie once. I'm going to go see it again when it comes out. I'm going to watch it with a bunch of people. But this movie, because it was real, I spent a lot of time. Like I read the book, and I read the book. I watched interviews of him, which was a lot of like the preparation for getting into the character of Don as a real person rather than somebody that I could just make my own liberties and come up with whatever. Um, and this movie was it was really fun, great to film, and just taking the parts that were real of Don from what I knew of reading it and turning those into something that can show up on screen was that's the most difficult part, but it still turns out great, especially when you have such a great director like Andrew.
Fantastic. I would love to know, speaking of Don Fendler, could you relate at all to that character?
Oh yeah, totally. That's I think my favorite part of the whole movie is how relatable it is, especially because he was 12 and I was 12 while filming it. So it was so perfect there. But he goes through a lot of struggles with being lost, like physically. It's very difficult for him. It's also very emotionally difficult for him. He's by himself out for 9 days lost on this mountain when he's just 12. And I think it's just so inspiring that to think that a little kid, someone that's 12 years old, would be able to do that. And it just gives me courage. It just makes me feel like I can do it. I can do good on this test or like whatever totally trivial thing I have to do compared to what he did. So,
Right? Yeah. 9 days surviving is
yeah.
absolutely incredible. The movie sounds obviously like there's going to be these intense moments being lost in the wilderness during a time when technology was a lot less than it is now. While you were filming, did you happen to have any real life intense moments?
Um I think well the set was like super fun, so in terms of like while we were filming, I don't think there was anything, but while I was there, I had I got a present from my uncle, which was this like super fancy drone, which was awesome because I was staying in like a cabin in the middle of the woods. Um, and so I would fly it around for like hours every day that I was free. And I lost the drone. I was flying it and it hit a tree. I was not too good at flying it, but it hit a tree. So me and my dad spent like an hour and a half out looking for it over there. And while we were over there, we saw a bear, this like huge, I think it was just a black bear, but it's still a bear.
Yeah.
Um, So that was pretty scary. There were also some bears on set, but they were as far away. While we were eating lunch one day, they showed up. And it was cool.
I gotta say really quick, I'm an avid hiker, and yet I've never encountered a bear, even though there's lots in our area. So the fact that you actually saw one, that's crazy.
Yeah, you get lucky, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. You were talking about, this family dynamic with this father back in the 1930s. I would love to know, did you get along with your coworkers, Paul Sparks, who plays your father, as well as Caitlin Fitzgerald, who plays your mother?
Oh my God, they were amazing. They were such a just they're just so amazing to be around. They're such nice people. I think everybody that works on a movie set, it might just be me just because I love being on movies so much, but there's not been a single person that I haven't met on a movie set that isn't just like an amazing bundle of joy, like great person. I just love that whole environment. Everybody was so nice. Especially Paul and Caitlin. They were I don't know, they were just so nice. I spent so much time hanging out with them and also Griffin, who plays my brother. And I just feel like we all got so close and we kind of were like a family.
I love that because you don't necessarily know, right? You're acting, you're portraying something, but the fact that it's a family environment, that's fantastic. As a teenager who's been an actor for a long time in your own life, how do you balance schoolwork, your career as an actor, and family life?
Um, so I've like you said, I've been acting for a while, I guess, considering that I'm 15 now. Jeez, it's been a while since I filmed this. But is I've been acting since I was 8. I got my first job when I was 9, so it's pretty hard to start out in acting. It takes a long time, a lot of dedication. But my family is like very supportive of my acting. My dad's been an actor since he was 15. Um, he's been very into it his whole life. So having a supportive family is like that's the best way that I can, do acting and go off on all these adventures, super fun stuff. And with school, I kind of like go in between with school. Last year, I was in public school after the strike. I couldn't like work, so auditions were out for a while. This year, I'm going back to a public school called Capstone Academy. I mean, private, not public. But like private school, I did homeschooling one year, stuff like that. That's how I deal with the school.
Right on. So you make it work. That's fantastic.
I make it work.
This movie, Lost on a Mountain in Maine, it covers so many powerful themes. So it's talking about family, love, faith, survival. What do you hope viewers take away from it?
Out of everything, out of all the amazing messages that this movie brings, and I've said this a lot of times. Andrew says the exact same thing. When I This is the same message that me and Andrew and everybody that worked on it just wanted people to get out. I feel like that's why the movie turned out so good. Everybody had the same idea and vision for it of what they wanted people to have. And that is just tell the people you love that you love them. Make sure that you get your feelings across because you never know when somebody's going to be like almost died being lost on a mountain in Maine. It like that could I could just wake up one morning and be like halfway across the country. But I just think that being able to get through like whatever barriers you have with talking to people and being able to have a good relationship with them where you can tell each other everything is incredibly important for everything in anyone's life. So I think this movie just you should do that. Tell the people you love that you love them. Make sure you get everything across. And yeah,
I think that's a great idea. I know that's the theme at many funerals, which at that point, right, is too late. So it's good. Do it while they're here before you forget. And that's a great
exactly.
message. Wonderful. Well, I'm very excited to see this movie. It looks incredible from the trailer, and I think you've done a bang up job as this lead character who survives 9 days on a mountain in Maine.
Crazy. Yeah.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much.